It's just not a good idea to go putting everything on there because it's information overload. It's too much to process. Hi, welcome to Savvy. I'm Rob G. Today I want to talk to you about how to get an effective website. Now, you may think that a website is merely a place where you can put your company's name and put the offerings, your products, your services up there so your audience, your potential customers can go there and look you up and see what you got and hopefully contact you. And that basically is true. You want them to make a decision, not necessarily just to contact you unless that's part of your process. But if we talk about going to a website and having it be purposeful, it takes a lot more than just slapping stuff up on a website. And we had a client one time where even though I strongly recommend, and sometimes the client insists, and I will not buck them, but I will strongly recommend that they do something a certain way for a very particular reason, and then I have to educate them. So that's really on me, and that's on you if you are providing this kind of service. But I had a client one time who insisted on putting everything they had to offer on their homepage. And this is probably a big mistake. It's not probably a big mistake. It's one of the bigger mistakes that I see being made. And that's, yeah, you run a business and you want to let your customer know, your audience know, the visitor to the website. You want to let them know, hey, here's what we have to offer. We've got all this great stuff. We got all these great services. And don't forget this, and remember this, and if you're into this, we have this. And you wanted the tendencies to want to put all that front and center so that when somebody comes to the website, they don't miss something that you're offering. And this is a huge mistake. It's just not a good idea to go putting everything on there because it's information overload. It's too much to process. And if you have ever been out and you've experienced this kind of choice overload, you know that it can be paralyzing. There was a study done by a woman named Sheena Linegar, and she did a TED Talk on this, and it was really interesting. She went to a grocery store and she set up a little stand at the front of the grocery store where she put out 24 jars of jam, different flavors, 24 different flavors of jam, and offered samples to customers in the hopes that they would find one they like and that they would make a purchase. And after a couple of days of showing all 24, she made some sales. The interesting thing is, the next day after that, she pared it down to just 6 flavors. So now she cut it down to 25% of what she originally offered. She had 6 flavors of jam and offered samples. And did you know that customers bought 6 times as much? Sales went up by 6 times with less choice. And it goes against probably the average logic that says that, if you have more choice, you might appeal to somebody who has a particular palate for that flavor. And if you don't show it, well, they might not know it's there, obviously, and they won't buy it. But too much choice is too much. And it causes confusion, and the bottom line with that is confused people don't buy. And that's what it came down to, and that's what her study showed. So when you do that with your website and you take that homepage and you put everything on there, guess what? They get confused. They don't know what they're looking at. They came there for a reason, and now you're giving them everything, including that reason. But if they can't suss it out, if they can't distill all your information down to the one thing they want, they're paralyzed and they will bounce. They will leave your site because people don't want 10 million choices. They want the choice that they came for. So in other words, leading the customer through the site is of utmost importance, and a purposely designed website will take that into account. So in terms of navigation, and I don't mean the nav bar at the top, I mean navigation in terms of when somebody comes to your website, what path do they follow in order to get their questions answered and get to the result they're looking for, because they really came for one thing. And if you offer 12, they're just gonna get confused. So resist that temptation to offer everything on there and lead them through intentionally. And I'll give you a great example. I'm a big fan of Dollar Shave Club. I love their products. I love their branding. The company itself is just top notch in terms of customer service, and their website is just fantastic. It is easy to use, it is attractive, it doesn't bombard you with everything they have to offer, and they offer a lot. It's just not razors and shave cream. They offer a lot of different products for men, and you're not overwhelmed. And one of the most brilliant ways that they have been able to guide you through their website is through a little discovery session. And it's great the way they did it. You should just go there to check it out. Even if you're a woman, go check it out. But if you go, for instance, to the hair care category, and you'll see that in sections as you scroll down the website, it will ask you questions that make sense to you as a consumer, such as, and then they will say, what kind of hold do you want in your hair? And they actually have these great little animated graphics of a guy with his, he's got a mop of hair and there's a fan there, and the fan's blowing on him. And if you want strong hold, the hair doesn't really move. And if you want less hold, his hair's waving all over the place. And it's a great visual and animation, and it's fun. It's interactive, but it serves a purpose, because as you answer the question, it gives you a couple of more questions, pairs it down to the product that's right for you. So in other words, they don't leave it up to you to figure out which product is best for you. They walk you through like a fantastic service-based company would, and they're a product-based company, but they got it figured out, nailed down. So take that into consideration. If your website is not as effective as it should be, remember, it is a sales tool. And if you've got too much on the homepage, you're gonna wanna get with a company who can help you properly design it so that navigation leads the customer to a purchase. And that's the bottom line. So I hope this was of great value to you. Spike those comments below, hit the subscribe button. I want to hear what you've got to say. This has been Savvy with Rob G. I want to tell you to remember, always be learning, always stay savvy. Have a great day.